Set in 1952 Scotland, a lady with her son faces the struggle of her recent divorce from her abusive husband.
You have to learn to look after yourself.
Lydia works in a factory and tries to survive paying house rent and her son's school expenses.
Joe took my marbles.
Well, did you count to 10?
I did, but he still had my marbles.
Charlie, Lydia's son, prefers to isolate himself from other students who often hurt him. He is fond of watching the bees owned by someone from a wealthy doctor. As he walks along, he saw a lady who just arrived. It was Dr. Jean Markham, the daughter of the late doctor of the town who decides to take her father's place and continue helping people. Lydia is having trouble catching up with their daily needs. Her work can't compensate their expenses ever since her husband left them. Charlie knows that his mother is not happy and tries to cheer her up.
Mum,
Yes, love?
do you want me to read to you?
One day, Charlie got into trouble and his cousin brought him to Dr. Jean. Fortunately, it was just a bruise and no broken bones for Charlie. Then Dr. Jean somehow noticed that Charlie is fond of bees, so she invites him to take a pic. Charlie and Dr. Jean quickly made a connection and became friends. She tells Charlie that the bees can actually understand. So Charlie starts to talk and share his feelings with the bees. Dr. Jean gave Charlie a journal where he can write what he observed with the bees and to write what he feels as well.
Mum is sad. I don't know what to do.
Lydia got upset when she saw the journal. She thought the doctor was a man and he bribed Charlie to come to his house. But when she saw Dr. Jean, she apologized.
Hello, Dr. Markham.
Hello, Charlie. Charlie wanted to see the bees.
This was the start of Lydia and Dr. Jean's friendship and also a chance for Lydia to understand Charlie's fondness of the bees.
But everything that happens, you must tell the bees.
The bees actually do start to recognize voices.
They both shared what they've been through, but Dr. Jean did not mention anything about how people treated her before for being a lesbian. She then went to treat a girl, and the mother, however, got upset when she tells her what to do with her children.
I don't need advice from you on how to look after my daughter.
Then Dr. Jean realized that the mother knew her before, and she ran outside the house feeling anxious. Lydia went to see Dr. Jean and mentions about her problem financially and can't pay the rent. At first, Dr. Jean doesn't want to entertain how nice Lydia is since she knows what other people think of her. Eventually, she offers Lydia and Charlie to stay with her and also offers Lydia to work as a housemaid.
So, this could be your room.
Dr. Jean loves to spend time with Charlie, especially when they both take care of the bees. A certain moment where Lydia and Dr. Jean felt the tension when they were dancing. Lydia hugs Dr. Jean when Charlie got a bike and thanked her for being so kind to them, especially to Charlie. Lydia felt overwhelmed whenever Dr. Jean shows how much she cares for Charlie, and this somehow made her feel attracted towards Dr. Jean. The bee stings Lydia's neck, and quickly Dr. Jean came and blows the bees away. Then suddenly they felt the tension and almost kissed, but Dr. Jean said no.
No.
The attraction between them somehow makes Dr. Jean feel uncomfortable as she wants to forget her past. She tries to avoid Lydia and wanted to talk to her when Lydia's husband came. He got upset when he knew Lydia and Charlie lives with Dr. Jean. Lydia and Dr. Jean can't seem to control their feelings anymore, and they made love for the first time. Dr. Jean reveals to Lydia that she did love someone before, and the people in their town knew that she's a lesbian, and that her father wants to protect her. That is why she left the town and went to boarding school and continue her studies until she becomes a doctor. An old friend of Dr. Jean came to visit. He loves Dr. Jean and wanted to marry her, but he became heartbroken knowing that Dr. Jean doesn't love him, and he knows that she's a lesbian. Lydia tells Dr. Jean everything will be alright, and they just need to wait for the perfect time to tell Charlie and the people in their town about them. Unknown to them, Charlie already knew that something's going on between them. When Charlie woke up, he went to see Lydia, but she's not in her room. He went to Dr. Jean's room and he saw them making love. Charlie got so upset and he went to see his father and told him about what he saw. Dr. Jean tells Lydia that Charlie needs to understand and no one should know about their relationship. They tried to talk to Charlie and ask him to go home with them, but Lydia's husband did not allow Charlie. Dr. Jean feeling upset when no one came to her clinic. The people started to discriminate and criticize her for being a lesbian. She felt so alone and that all she wants is to help and cure them, but all she gets in return are hurtful words. Dr. Jean's friend advised her to leave the town with Lydia and Charlie and go to Canada. Since most people in their town doesn't accept her and Lydia's relationship, then it's better for them to leave. But Lydia just can't leave without her son.
Have to. If I was any kind of mother, I wouldn't have let him stay.
One night, Charlie went back to see Dr. Jean and asked for help. His cousin needs medical attention. Then, without any hesitation, Dr. Jean went to see Charlie's cousin. This was the chance for Lydia to talk with Charlie and let him understand that she loves Dr. Jean.
I love Jane. I'm still the same person.
While Dr. Jean was out and attending to Charlie's cousin, Lydia's husband so mad and looks for Charlie. He slaps Lydia and tries to rape her. Then Charlie went outside and asked the bees to help them. Surprisingly, almost all the bees came out and sting Lydia's husband. Charlie's cousin is now stable and her mother thanks Dr. Jean and pleads to her to stay in their town. Dr. Jean came home seeing Lydia and Charlie sleeping. They came to a decision that Lydia and Charlie has to leave for Canada and start a new life there. Dr. Jean decides to stay in their town and continue helping people. Dr. Jean kisses Lydia and tells her she loves her. They both shared a kiss despite the people around them and doesn't care what they will say. Want more queer content? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell.